Salutations, everybody. I accidentally put this stream on ending soon, where it should have been starting soon. Damn. Hold on. Music is a little too loud. Should be fine now. How's everybody doing? Happy weekend to everybody. I just had some yummy pasta in preparation for like the stream. Eating soup. Soup is good. What kind of soup? We love soup here. Soup is awesome, especially in winter. Like when where I'm living as well. Because minestrone? Oh, minestrone is great. Minestrone is awesome. You know, like, I've been, trying to eat more vegetables, for the sake of health. And, like, I don't know, just eating more vegetables in general. I realized that, like, if they're, like, that Larry the Yeti tends to make a lot of soups, and sometimes when I just don't feel like making, sometimes when I don't feel like, making, a salad or some crap, because that's a bit of prep. I just take some of the leftover soup, heat it up, and then I have some quick lunch. Now, I never made soup myself, and I know I should, but it's like I really need to like sit on it and really learn how to make soup. I like I think that my favorite soup is either French onion or miso, to be honest. So yeah. And another thing I want to talk about before we continue on to today's program is the fact that it's been 6 months since I first began streaming, which is crazy. I really wanted to make a debut video to celebrate it, and it just didn't happen. I have this habit of saying, okay, this month I'm gonna get this out, and it's gonna happen, and then just life happens, and neathood happens, I think. And I just lose all of my perception and time, and then I'm oh wait, it's been 6 months. The deadline I imposed on myself did not happen. Hopefully I'll be able to make something for my 1-year anniversary, but we'll see. I want to promise that I make projects and crap, but it's hard. It's a little hard embracing neathood when one of the downsides is the lack of schedule. Yeah, beat several games in that time, including Dave the Diver, Portal 2 and Signalis, and several one-offs like Mouth Flashing. Yeah, big congrats to me. I beat a lot of games. I beat a lot of games during that time, and I think that I probably wouldn't have touched either Signalis or Dave the Diver if I wasn't streaming them. Dave the Diver was in my collection, and it was probably gonna gather dust unless I mentioned it and you specifically told me, oh, you should stream that, it's a good game. And in my case, sorry, I'm trying to collect my thoughts while the jazz is jazzing. And with Signalis, it's just a horror game, and I find that it's more easier for me to experience horror games. Yeah. Sad Signalis says I bought you that. I know. And thank you for doing that. The reason why it took me time to play Signalis was mostly because it's a horror game. And I noticed that if I play horror games for a crowd, it gives me more of a motivation to speak it and to play it, and also have someone metaphorically hold my hand as I play the game, you know? It's more fun getting scared with others. Yeah. And it just feels like it's diffusing the tension. I also really enjoyed, playing, Wow, sorry, I'm trying to figure out, the who's and what's, and my brain kind of, and my brain kind of short-circuited, you know? I would like to see you play Dredge at one point, since you played the Dredge DLC in Dave the Diver. I can get onto it. Because we're also getting a little, closer to the endgame of Ace Attorney 2, I started thinking of, the games I want to play afterwards. I thought it would be nice to, usually when I play games, having a long game, it's also nice to, take a game that's presumably a little shorter to, switch it up, so... instead of, going to Ace Attorney and, playing, another, visual novel and the same thing, I want to, mix it up. Maybe actually play some, Okay, yeah, sorry. I just had some messages that like were just sent to me and they were kind of improved. Yeah, variety is nice, prop save. Yeah. Yeah, obviously Persona 3 Portable is gonna be after Metaphor, and that's an asterisk because maybe I'll do like a short game in between. I'll have to look at it. It's one of those new things. But I did promise you that I'm gonna play the game, so I am gonna play P3P, which could be nice. It's also, I think it's like so far it's the only Persona 3 version I have yet to experience, and it's probably the only one I'm gonna play. Yeah, not 2 Atlas RPG. Yeah, absolutely. I'm definitely looking forward to play Persona 3, like on my own. I'm a little overwhelmed because Kotone is great. I like the idea of playing girly pop Persona. I also find it like, aside from the fact that it's like she also seems like to be the more fun option. It's kind of like when you play in Zenless Zone Zero, and Belle is just like a more fun character to play. Like, because of her design, she just feels like a cheekier version to her more cool and collected otherwise. So yeah. But anyways, we were speaking about Ace Attorney. And I will probably... And now it's time to return to the actual topic of tonight. Yeah, gotta remind the reminder the writers had time to see the flaws and write Kotone to fix those. Oh, that's interesting. That's really nice. Male party social and more active protag and so on. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, sorry. I need to like if I'm quiet, it's because I'm taking care of like something in the corner. Oh, how professional of me. Me and my concentration issues. But yeah. Anyways, Ace Attorney Investigations. Woo! Oh, really? The Kotone route was written by an all-female staff? That's so cool. I'm definitely for it. So yeah, Ace Attorney Investigations 2. Last time we threw our badge in order to save our friend, in order to save Kay. Kay then proceeded to run the fuck away, and then we found her, and Eddie, Fender, and Emma Sky joined us, and we discovered that maybe the murder actually happened in the secret 51st floor, where there's probably an auction of hidden evidence. And also, our good friend Franziska von Karma is back. So that's fun. That is indeed very fun. Anyways, let's go. She has the latest, and now we are doing a tete-a-tete with our girl. Yeah, the goddess of justice. Fine, I accept your little explanation. That would make the storeroom the actual scene of the crime, yes? In which case, the murderer is someone connected to the auction. You guys have no idea how much I missed doing Franziska's voice. It really pisses me off that, like, Franziska only shows up at 4 out of, like, the other games in the series, because she's absolutely my favorite character to voice of all time. Well, welcome to the stream. We're playing Ace Attorney Investigations, currently in Case 4. Good fun times. And if the photographer is to be believed, the victim was the auctioneer, and the culprit was an attendee. Yeah, in TGA it's a flashback. Yeah, obviously you can't have Franziska in there because she's dead. But Franziska has a bunch of other characters too. I mean, not Franziska, sorry. But TGA has a bunch of other characters that are fun to voice. Yeah? Is everything fine? Can you guys hear me okay? Why did you say? Why did you do a question mark? What happened to the layout? Oh, something happened to the layout? Hold on. I don't see any troubles with the layout. Looks fine to me. Unless there's something wrong here? Like, I'm looking at the device. Oh, did I zoom out? I don't think I zoomed out. Maybe I made myself a little smaller. I'm trying to find out because this is my usual layout. Maybe it's I can make this a little bigger and then put it behind the camera frame. I think that like part of the reason is that right now I am like the screen capture is a window capture instead of like the usual game capture. I also think I'm just gonna retire the game capture solely because what's this? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Anyways, I fixed it. I think like something was wrong with like the window capture, but I hope it's fine now. I hope it's better. Let's continue. They then stab the victim in the chest with a piece of merchandise, the candelabrum. There. Does that about sum it up? Because I won't be accepting rebuttals. Okay, let's continue. I'm afraid you might have to. There is a serious hole in your testimony. There is? I didn't spot any. Good thing you're the one in charge here, Mr. Edgeworth. All right then, time to fight back. You have to win this for us. Oh, also, Emma's here, and this is probably my least favorite appearance of hers in the franchise because it's leaning on her worst quality, which is the Edgeworth fangirl. Emma, it's like, Emma's a bit of an interesting case because she's definitely is a bit of a carbon copy of Maya in certain aspects. The backstory is different and the interaction with the older sibling is different. But I feel like like Emma is in her peak post-time skip. She's just the more interesting character by default of her not getting what she wants. So yeah. And I will. Time to take Franziska's testimony to the task. It's been a week, and I hope I still remember. I hope I managed to debunk her. Do you prefer her being homophobic or a stalker? Yes, the glamorous. Yes, the glamorous fop. I mean, I think that Edgeworth is also kind of gay. Look, I get your point because, like, it's, Clavier is so flamboyant and friendly and warm and, like, he's not a proper prosecutor. It's like, I mean, I prefer her dynamic with Clavier Gavin, to be honest. I prefer, like, in her interactions post-time skip with Clavier Gavin. She's homophobic and... Oh, is she? Wow, listen. It's been years since I last played Rise from the Ashes. We are definitely going to be playing, like, the original trilogy. Not, like, soon, but, like, it's on the plan. I am planning for it. I completely forgot that aspect of her. Yeah. So, like, the thing about the Ace Attorney trilogy is that I played it enough times to remember the broad strokes. Yeah, I mean, I know that, like, her being surprised of, like, Mia and Lana being intellectually attracted. I remember that much. Such a funny way to phrase it, to be honest. It's like, the thing about, like, Ace Attorney investigations is because the Ace Attorney trilogy Is that like because I played it like such a long time ago? Like the last time I touched Justice for All, which is my favorite game, is over a decade ago. Says BN Lex. Yeah, pretty much. It was back when I still thought like Turnabout Big Top was still alright. Like, it's like there were still some icky things, but like I thought Benjamin Woodman like fucking sucked. Like he became less funny like the more I grew up and understood. And like with Max Galactic I found him annoying, and I also think that like part of the reason why Big Top is like has a lot of it is because Phoenix is not having fun either. So like if Phoenix isn't having fun, and then the audience isn't having fun, and then there's just like the whole Regina thing. It's just like the more you look at it, it's like one of those things that just like needed a bit of tweaking or like a finer angle. And yeah. But I still think that there are redeeming values to it, like in terms of like character study and Franziska and the villain. I understand why there's a lot of ick factors in it, and I agree, but like I just like a few cases less, and who knows, maybe we'll want to turn it I'll understand why everyone hates it as well. But like a lot of people hate Turnabout Ablaze, and I ended up liking that case. I understand its flaws. But it's like I had fun. It also depends on like sorry, I'm supposed to be playing the game, but like you open the Pandora's box, which is Haled's Ace Attorney hot takes. I mean, Nick is a bitch, but when he's not having fun, he usually gets pissy, and which is fun most of the time. But Big Top isn't as fun. Yeah, pretty much. With this, I agree. Wow, I forgot what I wanted to say. Fuck. It's also like one day too long. The second day nothing happens. That's true. Ace Attorney, that's also, I mean, aside from like sharing the backstory, but it's that's fair. I think like the issue that some Ace Attorney cases go into is that like sometimes like the 2-day mandate, like it gets forced on, or like a certain like day mandate, so it means that like some cases are padded. It's like, you already know that, like, Acro did it. Could have easily slotted the backstory into day 3 or 1. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, wait. Fine, I accept, storm the actual crime scene. In which case, the murderer is someone connected to the auction. And if the photographer is to be believed, the victim was the auctioneer and the culprit was in attendance. The killer laid in wait for the victim in the storeroom where the exchange of illicit goods was to take place, and stabbed the victim in the chest with a piece of merchandise, candelabrum. Yeah. I had more Ace Attorney takes, and then I just completely forgot about them. We can be here all day. If you guys want to like donate points for me, I can share another hot take. It's one of our point rewards. Specifically, I share a hot take for 800 points. It's a reasonably coherent explanation of events beneath the surface, but something's off. I just see if I can tease a little more out of her. Fine, I accept your little explanation, but that would make... Wait. Yeah, I need to... Oh, so just, like, let's press the shit out of Franziska. Oh, we can do that! You conceded that point rather easily, but I can't help but be suspicious. I'm not in the habit of denying the facts that are readily supported by the evidence. That's all there is to it. You were able to show the murder actually took place in the storeroom. Oh, it was about Turnabout Ablaze. I think it, like... Because I was playing Turnabout Ablaze, like, weekly, the final confrontation with Quercus Alba just, like, it bothered me less. Like, if you do it all in one sitting, then you realize that, like, oh shit, this crap takes 5 hours. But, like, if you played, like, bi-weekly, then you basically manage to, like, divide it into chunks. So, yeah. In which case, the murderer is someone connected to the auction.
Hold it!
Which is not wrong about that. And how exactly did you come to that conclusion? Members of the big building staff were questioned extensively, but none were mentioned a secret storeroom. None mentioned a secret storeroom. It seems its existence was known to only a handful of people. Hold on. And of course, the storeroom was where the items that were to be sold and the auction were being kept. Very good. Which suggests a link between knowledge and the storeroom and involvement in the auction. And if the photographer is to be believed, the victim was an auctioneer and the culprit was an attendee.
Hold it!
Let's continue. So you believe that the victim and the ringleader were one and the same? I do. And the murderer was... Why are you asking her this? You just said the exact same thing yourself, dummy! Oh my god, fuck you. Hold on. Be banned forever? Silence spot? So I did, but I was merely confirming Francisco's reasoning in order to... Oh, don't give me that horse feed! You get caught saying something stupid and I'll give you a little laugh and move on with your day. You give a little laugh and move on to your day. I like how Lotte is literally the only woman who gets whipped. The murderer was one of the auction attendees. What? You don't got no notes on for our friend here after your little performance of his? Of course, assuming it's our friend from the photographer's world can be trusted. I can't quite tell if they love or hate one another. Anyway, the more relevant point here is how the culprit actually carried out their plan. The killer lay in wait of the victim in the storeroom where exchange of illicit goods was to take place.
Hold it!
Hate, yeah, it's definitely hate. How exactly do they manage that, may I ask? Miss Hart was in the storeroom too, remember?
Objection!
Yes, hiding in some place. And if you've seen the storeroom yourself, you'll know that there are plenty of other places to hide too. So you're saying the killer was hiding out of sight while they awaited the victim's arrival. I believe we can reasonably assume that the murder took place after the auction has concluded. Edgeworth, you're barely introduced in your own homosexual feelings. Don't try to assume your sisters. Yeah. Unnecessary feelings. After all, the victim was the auctioneer herself. She would surely rather have me to be present through the proceedings. She thinks it happened afterward. Would you mind adding that statement to your testimony, Francisca? I believe we can reasonably assume that the murder took place after the auction has concluded. Okay. What is our contradiction here? That's a question for the ages. I'm gonna try asking it again.
Hold it!
Just to make sure. After the auction has ended, you say? And you're sure of that? You're sure of that? If the victim was the auctioneer, I don't see how else it would have happened, do you? I mean, she's right. You can't have an auction without an auctioneer. No, you can't, can you? Why does that suddenly feel significant? I believe after the auction has been concluded. I mean, it's sound, but like, we still need to understand it. How do we know that? Maybe we need to look at Miss Hart's observation. Illicit auction held in big building. Items were on sale. 11 attendees altogether. Auction continued even after the murder occurred. Well, seems like Miss Hart's statement
Objection!
seems to be our ace in the hole. It seems we're one step behind yet again, Francisca. How so? The auctioneer was not in fact the victim, and I can prove it. This is the statement Miss Hart gave us. Well, if she made it, it's not worth the air she used to say it. I told ya, I'm a journalist, and Gabbit, my word is huge. Did I ask you to open your mouth? Double ouch!
Objection!
Okay. Calm down and listen for a second, Francisca. Miss Hart witnessed at least some of the events surrounding the murder. And she confirmed that the auction continued even after the murder had occurred. You bet I did. Went right on like nothing had happened at all. Is this the edging stream? Yeah, it is. Welcome to the stream, Mark. How would that have been possible without an auctioneer, It wouldn't, so you see. The victim couldn't have been the auctioneer. She was one of the attendees. No! As I've been saying since the start, there's no way Kay can be the murderer. Yeah, very lewd. Because she has been pushed down the hatch by her assailant and knocked unconscious by that time. So then, who was the victim really? Right, well, if the auction carried on after her murder, the victim must not have been the auctioneer, but an attendee. And look who came in. That's enough! I know that sound all too well. Yeah, I almost forgot that Eustace was here. Attendees nuts, yeah. Order in the courtroom. All rise for the chairman. Oh, she was wingmanning this guy. Oh, there is no need for all that pomp and circumstance, Verity. Please, everyone, feel free to call me. Celsius? Celsius! They translated his name to Celsius! Excelsius! Like excelling in Celsius! How did I just figure this out now? Yeah, this isn't the courtroom, it's a committee. Alright, Celsius. What are you doing? What are you doing here? Was his original name was his name in the original Fahrenheit? No, it was I mean in the fan translation it was Blaze. God, I did not understand the Celsius part of Excelsius. That's crazy. In the original his name was Japanese. Like, his name was Japanese. Like, all the names are localized. It's the Ace Attorney stapled. I don't like this man. He looks like he's seen shit. He's also the person who has caused the shit, by the way. Oh, I just stopped by to see how my boneheaded boy was getting along. See? Boneheaded boy? He's the shitster. They say there are all sorts of families, but I'm not sure these two are what they meant. I thought I might need to light a fire under this investigation, but it seems not. The suspect everyone's searching for high and low for is right back there where we started. Men, detain the suspect immediately. Is it better to know that he's canonically laid pipe? Yeah. The way you phrased the gamer core. I'm a little flabbergasted. I hate this line of thought. We don't play either. Moving on! Wait, Miss Faraday is innocent. Shut your meddling mouth. You're becoming something of a problem, Miles, my boy. I thought I told you. The committee wants this matter cleared up as soon as possible. Not a bomb, a lighter. It's a matter of trust. We can't have our organization be seen to drag its feet. Well, welcome to the stream. We're currently playing Ace Attorney Investigations, Prosecutor's Gambit. Stick around. I think we're getting to the middle of Case 4 of Game 2. A Cult of Mocktail. Yeah. It's bad for us, and it's bad for me too. Personally. Sorry, it must be my age. Your unlawful investigation ends here, and it will not be permitted to resume. In case you have forgotten, you're no longer a prosecutor. You have no authority here. What's more, there is the matter of you aiding and abetting a suspect. She's right, of course, as always. You really are a godsend there, team. Everything I do knowingly. Who threw tomatoes? I'm guessing you threw it at Blaze. I'm guessing you guys threw it at Excelsius, huh? Verity is the judge lady. Be my guest, but know this. We have uncovered a new suspect. This person here. Miss Verde was attacked by this Oh shit, like the pony? Verity is this person. Rarity, no. You can stop right there, Miles Edgeworth. The raincoat in your picture was discovered nearby a short while ago. The victim's blood was found in the hood, along with some cherry blossom petals. Cherry blossom petals, like the ones on the roof. Yeah, maybe. Yes. It was stuck to the edges of the bloodstains, probably due to the blood being fresh at the time. The results came back already, my boy, so there's no mistaking it. I almost forgot that, like, he's soaking his beard. Wow. The person in our picture is the victim, Miss Rosie Ringer. What? Is it, though? Someone's OC, but not official. Yeah, it could be. So it is a pony, just not an official one. So is Excelsius the Murderinator? I mean, he definitely gives villain vibe, they'll say that. And this case is one where, like, the guilty party is very much waving a guilty flag. But no! This completely undermines our entire case! All our assumptions were based on the person in the red raincoat being the killer. But if they were the victim instead, Kay remains at the top of the suspect list. Miss Verity, you testified to having encountered the person in red raincoat up on the roof, correct? Yes, I did. We now know the person, it was the murder victim. And you are the only person who we know who came into contact with her. Do you think Smurfs would just make a gun and call them Murderinator? Behold, the Murderinator! They don't know who the victim is? No, we know who the victim is. They just... Basically, a person in a red raincoat pushed Kay and, like, made her lose her amnesia. Kay is this lady over here, and she was pushed by a red raincoat guy. However, Verity, this lady over here, is assuming that Rosie Ringer is the person in the red raincoat. We still don't know any of that. Since one of you were now dead, I think we all know how that encounter went.
Objection!
No! Kay was attacked by that person! Is the beat-up girl. Yeah. She is the victim here, not the aggressor.
Overruled.
As far as I recall, we have yet to see any evidence that proves she was attacked as you claim. And even if such proof existed, Miss Ringer could simply have been acting in self-defense. Well, you can't just jump into conclusions like that. Kay is innocent. Oh no. But I'm not. No, Kay, it's not the time to do what you're about to do. Do not turn yourself in, woman. Kay? I'm not innocent. I don't want to believe it, but I remembered something. Hearing about the raincoat brought it back. It's just a flash, but I remember what I saw now. Right when it happened. I never thought I would say this, but this woman is a worse judge than the bald man, and the bald man fucking sucks. In what way? Why do you think she's the worst judge? She's a great judge, at least she does her job. She's just playing for the opposing team at the moment. The murderer. It was me. I remember looking down and... Besides her tragic backstory is very nice. She's lawful is what... She's very lawful. Not even lawful evil. Why are we throwing tomatoes on her then? Because she's being annoying is why. I mean... Yeah, Gamercore is the Verity Gavel stan of the stream. It's mostly Explode Things and Mark and everyone else who are throwing tomatoes at her. It was me, Mr. Edgeworth. It was me all along. I'm the murderer. I'm the murderer. No, you're not. It can't be. Yeah, she's French. Only in the localization and only in the official one. In the fan translation, she's American. Then what am I? Why do I have a memory like this? They were on the floor in front of me. I was full of blood. Why was I just standing there? Why didn't I do something? I know why. It's because I was the killer. No! Okay, stop it. Stop! The court recognizes the legitimacy of the accused's memories. What? But you said you didn't believe her like 5 minutes ago. Yeah, I mean... There's definitely gaslighting happening here.
Overruled.
I commend you for your bravery, Miss Faraday. It will not go unrewarded. There's a reason for her behavior. You'll see it. Praise be to the goddess of justice for her many blessings.
Objection!
As an official representative of Interpol, I hereby request that the suspect be...
Overruled.
We don't have time for this. We must arrest Kate Faraday this instant. Gavel is most likely Zheng Fa, considering her relatives. Oh, right. Wow. It's true. It's true. I almost forgot about that connection. Like, she doesn't have a canon nation. Her name is native to, like, a country. Like, in Japanese, it's Japanese. And, like, in the translate... Zheng Fa is a fake country near Asia. Ace Attorney has a bunch of made-up countries. Zheng Fa being one of them. How dare you take that tone with me? This is gross overreach of authority. I demand you give us more time to investigate. Is it a French colony? No, it's Chinese. It's very Chinese coded. What could be more unlawful than this? Unfortunately, you no longer speak for the law. Indeed, you don't, but I do. And while I can't help but be moved by your dedication to your friend, I have to agree with Verity. Speaking of the law, it seems there is one other we must arrest. Is it Edgeworth? Ah, yes, I almost forgot. Miles. Why are you burning papers? What are you talking about? Mr. Edgeworth was just doing his job. He didn't do anything wrong. A French colony that is basically a chunk of China. Like Hong Kong, but French instead of British. It was Brazilian in the fan translation? Wait, hold on, hold the phone. Zheng Fa was Brazilian? It was Brazilian? What? Hold on, I'm looking this up. You gotta be pulling my leg. Because this attorney is a very, like, Zheng Fa is a very Chinese name. I not believe you. Zheng Fa. I'm checking the Ace Attorney wiki. The lore is explained. They called it Phoenix? Oh. Hold on. Unofficial. Oh, in the Brazilian Portuguese, it's called Feng Ni. Are you talking about like the unofficial Oh, there was a Brazil. Oh, in the Brazilian fan translation, I see. Is that so? The lore is insane. Yeah. He wasn't doing squat. By which I mean to say, unfortunately, Miles is no longer serving in any kind of official capacity. You went too far this time, Mr. Edgeworth. You conducted an unlawful investigation. Worse, you aided and abetted the flight of a suspect. I'm going to call that soon. Eddie Fender is gonna step in and do his Eddie Fender thing. You are no longer the ex-prosecutor. You're a criminal, nothing more. Oh, that reminds me. There was supposed to be a hearing today, wasn't there? Considering your conduct. I'll make sure it's officially rescheduled for tomorrow, although I fear I already know the outcome. Look at this as an opportunity to reflect. Oh, I'm also gonna... I raised my mic volume just in case. A chance to really think long and hard. This court is adjourned. Oh, okay, it seems like Eddie hasn't stepped in just yet, but... Oh boy, the stakes are indeed rising. Seems like right now we are entering the ladder. So basically, the end game for this. Yeah, there is definitely judiciary production here. No one was saying that, just that, Verity's in the right. Holding cell. Never thought I'd spend another night in here again. That's a nice callback to the fact that he was adjusted. It's funny because her French name is Justine Delcoeur. Oh, so they actually, it's nice. They actually kept the... Her, They actually, kept her fan translation name in the Japanese, in the French version. It's really cool. And in the Brazilian Portuguese one, she's called Luisa Cortez. And she's called... No, it actually seems like she's named Justine Igal, not Delcoeur. I think you might be confusing with something else. Justine Igal is the unofficial. Sorry. Justine Delcoeur means justice of the heart. I see. Yeah, there we go. I checked it twice. And they stripped me of all the evidence so we painstakingly gathered. Yay, nothing but the Yatagarasu pin. Steven Seagal. Even if they did let me keep Kay's Yatagarasu pin, I can't help but worry about her. They better be treating her well. The murderer. It was me. I remember looking down and the person in the red raincoat was on the ground. It was me, Mr. Edgeworth. It was me all along. I'm the murderer. I'm the murderer. Come on, let's go. Got a visitor. I'm guessing the visitor is either Gumshoe or... Yeah, older sibling worth. Listen. 7 years is more, like... 8 years is a sibling gap for me, not a parental one. That's what I have to say about that. A visitor? Who? Someone by the name of Dick Gumshoe? Wanted me to send him away? No, I'm not sure what to even say to him. I mean, I'm fine with people like calling Edgeworth like Dadworth to Kay, but it doesn't really, like, again, personal taste. Wait here. But leaving me unsupervised? Forgive the intrusion. Oh my goodness, it's her! What is she doing here? George Gavel! Please, Mr. Edgeworth, take a seat. So, is the government of Japan America a dictatorship or something? The trials are bonkers. Kay is pretty much his pearl, though. Yeah. I mean, if I squint, I see it. She's more like... She's also like the Maya, isn't she? Why is she the pearl? I don't think it's a dictatorship. It just has a very corrupt judicial system. Yeah. Oh, Franny is the... Okay, that's fair. What are you doing here? I was told it was Detective Gumshoe. I imagine he wouldn't come if you knew it was me. I almost forgot she has a conversation. What could she possibly want from me now? I suppose I'll be able to find out. Let's see what she has to say to me. First of all, badge. Miss Faraday is currently being interrogated about her involvement in the murder. You're in the committee. You know what you're doing, don't you? You know that the wrongful arrest and persecution of an innocent person is beyond reprehensible. That's quite the slanderous remark. I would ask that you would frame your outburst with a little more care. Besides, she's not innocent. You merely wish to see that she is. You can't say that. You don't have conclusive proof. Nor do you have conclusive proof to the contrary. So let's not retread this tired old topic again. It's not slander if it's true. She will go to trial, and the goddess will pass her judgment. There is nothing you can do to stop that. And there is nothing more you can say on the subject. Instead, let us speak of the matter at hand. Fine, I'll see what you have to say to me, woman. You may not be aware of this, but you are the only permitted to meet with specially approved visitors. I'm not that treated like a dangerous criminal then, am I? I suppose my reputation has rather plummeted. It has indeed. For you, of course, and your friends. The attorney and the other girls were raising quite the fuss earlier. Wait, they have a goddess that actually descends from the heavens to pass judgment? It's more like the goddess of justice that's like used in the justice system. Sebastian, I mean a less competent Apollo, but I see what you mean, as in... Fender and Emma. No, it's like how the goddess of justice we use, yeah. I saw them launch some extremely heated words at one of the guards. No, you didn't! You may thank the goddess in that regard, for even she is too busy to deal with each and every infraction. They will not be punished for their bad behavior. Did you come here just to chit-chat with me? You must have a lot of time on your hands. Oh, speaking of which, Miss Von Karma is continuing the investigation where you left off. I just thought you would like to know. I figured you'd be worried about how they were all doing. Yeah, a bit of a zealot. I hate to admit it, but she read me like a book. What is your motive? Why are you coming here? Have you come to laugh? If that's so, then laugh at me, woman. Let's cut to the chase, Robert. Why are you really here? I'm here simply to talk. Nothing more. There is something I wish to know about you. It would be actually funny if the actual Judgment Bird came over to pass judgment with his scales. Yeah, the one from Lobotomy Corporation. That's, I mean, Bale was more making reference to Lobotomy Corporation. Me? Yes, who else? Objectively speaking, you are highly intelligent and quick-witted. And a born prosecutor at that. Please, Judge Gaffey, your sarcastic praise is what's salt on my wounds. I sincerely mean every word, Mr. Edgeworth, and it is why I fail to understand you. Okay, let's continue. And it is why I fail to understand you. I don't know if Gamer Core is being mean. I'm gonna let you guys sort it between yourselves, and for now, we're gonna have to continue it. I would prefer to have no infighting in chat, not that I think any of you guys were doing that. Take this latest case, for example. You were up against the very committee itself. You have no hope of succeeding. Even a child could have seen that. I said K. How does that mean? They said K. It's always bad when someone says K. I don't think there were any cruel intentions there. K. This is funny. Huh. I don't imagine the old me would have ever been so reckless. The old me had power, and because of that I thought that justice was always on my side. Just as you and the committee believe now. But a certain person changed my mind. He made reckon with my selfish and skewed sense of justice. Guys, look! It's time for the gay monologue! And once the scales had fallen from my eyes, I began to look at people differently. I saw that I was only able to be an effective prosecutor thanks to the efforts of those around me. Detective Gumshoe, and many investigative officers in force, and even Kay. It changed me. The degree to which it changed me still surprises me to that day. Hold up? What hold up? I see. Thank you. I think that perhaps I understand you a little better now. You understand me? I hardly doubt it. I just realized that Judge Gavel's chest curves upwards in a very unnatural manner. You seem so much emotion for me. It's man drawing. Yeah, she uses a push-up bra. Someone who is focused on only forcing their idea of justice onto others can't possibly see what I see. Is that so? Is that what you truly believe? I will say one thing. This has been a very interesting conversation. That is all. Yeah, pretty much. That's the headcanon. Before I go, there is one remaining matter, and the fact that her bra snaps every time is... it means that she just needs to, like, buy more quality bras. Either that or something else. I was asking to inform you that the date of your hearing has been confirmed. It will be held today, in the trial chamber. The committee sends its warmest regards. If that's all you had to tell me, you could have just sent a message. In the trust to God, it's words to another. That wouldn't do now, would it? Until then, Mr. Edgeworth, I'll see you again very shortly. Maybe she likes the feeling. Don't kink shame the nun. Maybe. I mean, if she dresses like a nun, she must be pretty repressed. Or maybe she's like in a marriage with the goddess of justice. Also, we already spoke about it probably because there's only so much you can say about Ace Attorney. But like this character, like Justine Courtney, Verity Gavel, Justine Courtney, Verity Gavel, she's a much better religious zealot character, like a zealot character, than Naita Senmati. That's my opinion, at least. I mean, it's also I also don't think it's that hot of a take. I don't know a lot of people who would say that Naida is their favorite prosecutor. Not gonna lie. Naida Senmati is a character from is the main prosecutor from Spirit of Justice, and he sucks. Just a boring, annoying character. Great design, though. Let's see if we have anything to look at in the meantime. Oh, it's a window. The window is barred with heavy steel. It reminds me of a movie I once saw. A prison inmate hatched a plot to escape by using a file to cut his cell bars. I would be doing that, of course. For one thing, I don't have a file on me at the moment. What am I saying? I wouldn't do it even if I did have one. Bed. A very basic bed. I can't say it was very comfortable to sleep on, however. She's also one of the only 2 judges that actually gives a guilty verdict that isn't a bad ending or undone, of course. Yeah. Yeah, no toilet paper. I imagine Detective Gumshoe would sleep soundly on it nevertheless, loudly snoring all the while. I suppose we'll probably never get to work together again. But I don't have any regrets about the bed I've made. I will follow my own path to the end. Yeah, a lot of, like, books about, like, prison life and the crap. There's a menu here on the table. It seems that detainees are able to pay to have their meals brought to their cells. What looks good? Spaghetti and mac and cheese lunch. Add linguine for only $1. Basmati and brown rice special. For a limited time, add regular white rice for no extra cost. It's probably for the best that I'm not very hungry. He can just use his cravat if he needs toilet paper, I'm just saying. I barely spent any time in here and I already can't feel my personal appearance slipping. The fuck do you mean, Edgeworth? In what way? I may have given up my badge, but I mustn't give up on myself. My collar, it's slightly creased. There. A tidy outside begets a tidy inside. Which is why it's more important than ever to take care of myself. Edgeworth is practicing self-care at the moment. Let's see, if I look at the bars, do I get something? There's a post in the corridor outside. We regret to announce that due to the warden's arrest, the Die of Destiny game will be discontinued. What is the Die of Destiny? Inmates will no longer need to roll a die every morning to determine their meals for the day. What the fuck? Wow. Fifi Lagarde, that's fucked! We wholeheartedly apologize to those who are looking forward to their daily casting of the die. Yeah, the warden was arrested like 2 cases ago. She kind of killed a man. Did anyone really need an apology for the cessation of such a ridiculous idea in the first place? Yeah, big corruption. Do I have another visitor? Kay! Oh, thank goodness you seem alright. That's a load off my mind. Such a heartwarming scene. It's enough to make a grown man cry. Crocodile tears all the way. But you're still not your usual cheery... I mean, you have to stay positive, Kay. You didn't do anything wrong. In fact, I guarantee you didn't. No, you have to let it go. I'm the murderer. I know that now. Yeah, his beard is fucking... yeah. The guy does lifts. Why don't... But you're not. You can't be. Why don't you have any faith in yourself? How can I, Mr. Edgeworth, when there is no me left to believe in? Not at all. I don't think that's true. Before you lost your memory, we spent quite a bit of time together. And I dare say you left quite the impression on me. So you see, there's plenty of you left. That's why I believe so much in your innocence. And why you should believe in yourself too. Thank you. But I can't. It would just cause more pain for the both of us. Please. You have to forget her. Forget the Kay. She's gone. The reason is the prison is corrupt. Believe in the me that believes in you. Edgeworth has reached his Kamina arc. Kay, no! You remind me of my younger self, you know. So noble. So bold. This is the justice you and the committee stand for? Justice. I suppose you could call it that. Why not? You still can't let it... You're just gonna lose amnesia or not. Yeah, and Kay is currently considered a dangerous criminal. What is he up to? Why is he going to such lengths to control everything? I can't shake the feeling that something is very wrong here. Is there some hidden agenda at play? Ugh, this is no time for to second guess myself. If I'm going to find out what it is, it's now or never. Well then, my boy, I suppose I should be. Wait! Oh shit! Guys, it's time for Logic Chess 2, Electric Boogaloo. I'm hyped. The mind chess games in this game are so cool. Remind there hasn't been a trial yet, they just need to detain her and the judge can determine her sentence, if any. Yeah. There must be some rhyme and reason to this madness. Ooh, 4 of them. Come now, Miles. I'm a busy, important man. I can't be wasting my precious time talking to you. The only way out of my current predicament is through Chairman Winner. There's so much to ask, it's so little time. Let's start by trying to find out why he rushed to have Kay arrested so quickly. And not a single pawn, yeah. Welcome to Endgame, Hale. Yep, this definitely is Endgame. I can't just let this happen. I'm getting answers if it's the last thing I do. Why the rush to arrest Kay? Why were you so keen to push through Kay's arrest? I've yet to hear a satisfactory explanation. Chess pieces are like health points, basically. I didn't like Mark. Haven't you been in like the previous streams? Basically, like the chess are like the psyche locks in Ace Attorney They're kind of like the psyche locks in Phoenix Wright. An explanation. Not often enough. So yeah, it's the damage. We need to like take all of these pawns and all these chess pieces. Not entirely sure what you mean. Don't give me that. You know exactly what I mean. I advise you about your adult boy. Tone, dear boy. Never mind your position. Let's see. I think he's actually concerned here. Let's see. Let's buy my time. I don't know if I have any good answers here. Suppose we did let your friend go free. What then? What do you mean, what then? Think of how it will look, my boy. And who would take the blame? Me, that's who. And so what? You're right to keep your mouth shut. That way you won't say anything foolish. Oh, crap. Sorry, but I can't stay silent forever. Not while Kay's innocence is still in doubt. Aw, you're breaking my heart. Just look at this flood of tears. Spilling out. Please, just leave it alone, will you? Things were never coming along nicely until you interfered. Huh. Coming along nicely? Coming along nicely? That's a pretty strange way of putting it. It's almost as if you wanted Kay's arrest to happen. It certainly doesn't sound like the statement of an impartial representative of the law. Fun fact, no kings ever thought in logic chess. That's true. Well, that wasn't my... You think so? Well, that wasn't my intention. Has it occurred to you that while you might just be overthinking things a little? Yeah, alas. I actually really... You mean... You, that the final boss also had mind chess? But that the final mind chess battle has a king. The king is the person itself, that's true. That's actually a good take. I do think the final mind chess in this game is actually really good. Excellent, even. One of the highlights of the series. The final case does mind chess battle hand one. Yeah, that's true. It doesn't change the fact that the serious doubts remain concerning Kay's arrest. Next, we'll need to press him on whether he really believes the investigation was sufficient. Let's do that. We can't allow any of his statements to go unexamined, no matter how trivial they may seem. I prefer the final... Yeah, it could have been really cool. I agree with you. One of them just might give us the breakthrough we need. How much of time you weren't the one calling the shots, were you? How much time was spent on your investigation altogether? Yeah, he's just smart. He doesn't need a Magatama. He doesn't need a bracelet that responds to his genetics. He doesn't need enhanced hearing. He doesn't need seances. He just needs brains. Or a robot. Yeah. I mean, with Athena it was enhanced hearing and a robot. I mean, Ryunosuke didn't need any enhanced powers, but he needed a contact with a very smart detective with Hairlock Sholmes. It's more non-diegetic. Or a Sholmes. Yeah, Edgeworth is just Edgeworth. Well now, let's see. You know what, I'm not sure I can remember. And I'm sure you can. You won't bluster your way out of this one. It's not a bluster, my boy. I honestly don't recall. It's a problem when you get to my age, you see. Why, I even forgot my own son's name sometimes. I don't think that's related to the age, you know. Never mind your fool of a son, answer me. How long did you spend the investigation? It's either with autism or this is just a visual reference for the player. Yeah. You're right, of course. The boy's a fool. I never meant for him to grow up like that, but... Oh, woe is me. Oh, man. He's only too happy to derail the conversation no matter where I take it. I have to force him to take this seriously. Let's try another tack for now. You can hardly say your investigation was sufficient. And you're the one who called for all the shots, weren't you? Including the decision to have Kay arrested. Oh, I'm afraid I'm nowhere near as influential as you think, dear boy. You're the chairman of the committee. It doesn't get much more influential than that. Not that I care about such things. You boo me. It's enough. Drive an old man to tears. You'll have to forgive me. I'm not a differential type. Yeah, big nerd. Well, if you're going to insist on being so blunt, then I'm afraid you won't be seeing your prosecutor's badge against anytime soon. Bide my time. I'm not gonna fall into that trap. Nothing more to say? Wonderful. Then I'll be on my way. Seems to be silent treatment won't work every time. Okay, here was the mistake. Let's see. I don't need that badge anyway. Let me make something clear once and for all. That badge isn't a be-all end-all for me. Far from it. Need to press the... Yeah, I needed to press the offensive. Like, it's a little hard to read the cues in the game. Even you must understand that much. So young. So very young. Also, underrating the king as an offensive piece deviate, but valid thought process. It could be. A word of advice, Miles, from somebody who's been around the block. You're hopelessly naive, my boy. Idiotically so. Well, that certainly got under his skin. He might be less guarded in his answers while he's in this state. Now's my chance. How much time did you spend on the investigation altogether? I know, you really don't give up, do you? Even my patience has its limits, you know. What a coincidence, so does mine. Now answer the question, do you believe that your investigation was sufficient or not? The youth these days are wont to be reckless. Makes me want to put you in your place. You're going to regret that, my boy. No, I'm putting you in your place. Let's see, if I bide my time. Oh, well, maybe you do know your place after all. What's the matter? Scared? Hardly. I was just thinking about how best to proceed. Getting answers from the elderly requires sensitivity. They can get quite emotional after all. You have no common sense whatsoever, do you? It's almost about as powerful as a rook in the endgame when used actively. Don't you understand? Your fate rests in my hands. You see, I don't remember trusting my fate. Let's see, if I... Like, I don't know whether to fall into it. Let's say you do manage to get some answers for me. Yeah. This is very challenging because it's very... This is very challenging because I don't even know like whether to press these or not because I don't want to fall into his traps, you know? There's nothing you can do with them. So why not give it up, dear boy? Now, and why not? It's simple, because I'm not about to let the truth escape me. Interesting. You think I'm beginning to see what I think I'm beginning to see what makes you tick. But what you're doing is pointless. Tragically, miserably pointless. Please, just give up. She's guilty. The decision has been made. Has it? The decision has been made. Once again, your choice of words intrigues me. It's almost as if Kay's guilt has already been determined from before her arrest. I see you guys are talking about chess in the chat, and unfortunately, being a non-chess player, I can't really add much of a statement. I just think Anatoly Karpov is funny. What are you trying to imply? I'm implying that things haven't gone as they normally should. In fact, everything has proceeded as if Kay's arrest was the end goal, right from the very start. Well, Chairman Winner, was it? Cool, Nice, we broke another piece. And that's certainly an intriguing theory. Man, this game is so fucking hype, you know? The hype in this game is so big, so major. But it's also a complete work of fiction. I'm afraid I don't have time for such flights of fancy. I think it's time we brought this shabby little farce to an end, don't you? No! He's trying to make his escape! We must confirm the legality of his arrest before he slips away. At least give me some time. It's faint, but the truth is finally beginning to emerge. Can I save here? Seems like I can. I want to save just in case. I don't think I've saved before this. Never forget Magnus. Magnus Carlsen, who became champion using alien beads to cheat at chess. What? What? Chess is fucking insane, huh? And I'm not about to let this opportunity pass me by. I still have questions. Wait, we're not done yet. I'm tired of all this talking, so make it brief, will you? What grounds do you have? Based on everything I've heard from you so far, it's clear that Kay's arrest is entirely unfounded. Yes, I think we're all familiar with this particular refrain of yours by now. Supposedly, yeah, allegedly. But I'm afraid it doesn't matter either way. You don't know what it takes to secure her release anyhow. How dare you take this low lightly as a man of the law? My, aren't you a rude little boy? But my fuse is only so long. I really want to tease him, but it's not... Honestly speaking, I don't have the time to waste on every last question you could dream up. I have a certain responsibilities to attend to now. I really am quite the busy man. Oh, are you just pretending to be busy? That's an awful thing to say to a fragile old man. I work harder than I should be at my age. I ask you, boy, what could I even hope to accomplish by putting you in such a pretense? You obviously don't want to talk about the case anymore. And that's why you're so keen to get out of this conversation, isn't it? Ooh, big spin! Morse code to tell you what pieces to move, what spaces for the computer AI. Bananas. What a weird conversation that's going on here. It's not a suspicion, it's certainty. There were no clear grounds on which to base Kay's arrest for a start. Now, my boy, let's not get carried away. There was always plenty of evidence to support our case. The mask, the letter, the corsage. They were all in her possession. And of course, her confession. More than enough to prove her guilty, I'd say. But those are... What's the matter? Struggling to come with a way to explain everything away? You left out that rumor that based on him being the... What the fuck? Man, this is crazy. Let's try saying this. I've got you now. You're backed into a corner and you don't even know it. Fuck! No! No! Oh crap, I needed to shut my trap! No! Don't burn the papers! No! Curses, I should have picked my words more wisely. Okay, not the worst thing. Man, I was so close. I was so close. I was so fucking close, chat. That I overextended. Well, there we have it. Your son speaks volumes. It's true I can't counter your argument right now, but you did let something valuable slip. A suspiciously detailed knowledge of the evidence against Kane. He rattled off the list like he knew it inside out. I'm gonna save here. I'm gonna save Scum just for the sake of like giving myself more time. Gary Kasparov commented on Toiletgate, and if it makes you happy, Hale. What? Wow! I think I might prove to be a valuable clue. Who gave the order? Who decided Kay should be arrested? You know, I can't seem to remember. Don't ever get old, Miles, my boy. It wreaks havoc in the memory. And to employ my clue. I'd appreciate if you'd stop playing the old man card. You were playing chess, not Balatro. You remember the details of the evidence against Kate pretty clearly. Perhaps if your memory didn't fail you, only when it was convenient, I'd be more inclined to believe you. So let me ask you again. Who gave the order for Kay's arrest? What if Edgeworth actually carried around a Ziploc bag full of chess pieces and just flicked them at people when he did not like it? What if they actually playing Mahjong? Maybe they did, but I don't see Xing Shen there to like support that claim. Maybe they're actually playing shogi. Maybe it's shogi all this time, or checkers. If he wasn't such an incurable numbskull, that is. It's a tragedy, really. I don't want to hear about your son. I want to know who authorized the arrest. Go? Yeah, could be Go. Or backgammon. I mean, that's assault, but like, you know, most of the prosecutors in the series, like, I don't know if most, like Franziska, Gatto, Simon, and Nayata. So it's 4 of them who throw shit at the defense. And like assault the defense. Like Edgeworth can also do that. He has the permission to do so. You're very mean. You know that, don't you? The arrest, you say? I believe the order was given by you, of course. Come now, Chairman Winner. We both know it was you. I literally saw a prosecutor throw boiling coffee at an attorney once. He'll just style it for you. Gavin is a chat and doesn't need to... Yeah. That's exactly what he does. Alright, you got me. You make it sound like I was somehow a bad thing, though. But I have a reputation to uphold, so I guess I'd better clear this up a little misunderstanding. Yeah, indeed, you can definitely make that joke. I'll entertain your questions for a few more minutes. Let's see if I can put your mind at ease. key thing to do now is to establish how intimately he knows the details of the case. I just have to ask the right questions. You know, all this time I thought that, like... Okay. All this time I actually thought that, like, Excelsius was still the chief prosecutor, like, that he was the chief prosecutor, and then, like, he was replaced by Lana, and then, he just came back to duty. No, he's actually, like, the former chief prosecutor. He's a committee member. That was definitely something I needed to remember. Yeah, Gavin should have been used more. They just didn't know what to do. Like, the new team just didn't know what to do with his character. Yeah, exactly. Like, the way the Dual Destinies went on fixing Apollo Justice, like throwing, is that, like, they just tossed all of the ideas to the side because a very loud faction of the Ace Attorney fandom really liked it. Like, really disliked the changes on them being different. And which was a coward move, to be honest. Tell me what you know about Kay. The suspect, Kay Thursday. How much do you know about her exactly? I know that she's a suspect. Aside from that, not much else. Cross my heart, but it's true. I don't have a clue as to how to proceed with this line of questioning. He is indeed a chicken. He's indeed a chicken. You seem to know about the case in quite some detail. Yeah, chairman. He basically advanced to, like, a different point of authority. Some would actually say it's even bigger than chief prosecutor. He's actually the one supervising them. I know about a lot of things, my boy. I'm just smart like that. Too bad the same can't be said about the way you handle Kata's arrest. Throw away burning papers once again. Why so quiet all of a sudden? I've got you now. You're backed into a corner. Oh, fuck. That was a mistake. Youch. Bide my time. I thought, like, maybe that was good. He does look like the Bigfoot. Yeah, he's very tall and he's very hairy. I'm a very busy man. Do try to remember that I can make this little chat to end whenever I so choose. It's only taking so long because you won't give me a straight answer to any of my questions. You know what they say about men with big feet? That they need bigger shoes. That's what they say at the end. If only you'd stop giving me the runaround, we'd be done already. So let's try this again. You seem to know the details of the case quite intimately. Why is that? Because I read the case file. Not exactly the most thrilling use of my time, of course, but it's part of the job. Yeah, they spend a lot on shoes. It's very hard to find big shoes. I agree with that, Mark. I have to be a really good role model. I can't seem to be slacking. It can be so hard. It can be hard. Like, specifically for, like, women, it's hard to find big shoes. Trust me, I know. It's like, But I had time on my hands, so I read the whole thing from cover to cover. But he kept saying about how busy you are. That's strange. I could have sworn he just told me you were a very busy man. I'd say the cracks are finally starting to show, wouldn't you? If you're so keen on being an upstanding leader, you can start by releasing Kay, you know. You really don't give up, do you? It's a moving sight indeed, my boy. But a tragic one, too. After all, your efforts are for naught. I'm afraid your old friend was found unconscious near the scene of the crime. Huh! We didn't know that yet! We have yet to hear that much about the circumstances under which Kay was found. Hale, how are you gonna have big feet and yet be short? At least have the excuse of being tall. I don't have big feet. I feel like, I'm not gonna tell you what size my feet are, but they're not that big. And maybe I'm a hobbit. I'm not gonna tell you how big my feet are. Nuh-uh. She was lying unconscious in this... I mean... Absolutely. Chat, hold on. My feet are not big, chat. These are not that big feet. These are not very big. Like, here... I know from experience because I know a woman with big feet. I am not the woman with big feet. I'm a woman with average-sized feet. If this becomes it's not becoming a feet stream. It absolutely isn't. Not in a million years. Look at them stompers. Fuck you. We're gonna stomp all over you if you keep that line of questioning. Moving on. The only feet I respond are Don Don's grippers. Kinky. Yuck. Man. A lot of people like being stepped on. That's right. Although I'm not at liberty to tell you how I know that. He knows things even we don't. In fact, he seems to be aware of every tiny detail about this case. This could be a valuable clue. And we put it here. The suspect, Kay Faraday. How much do you know about her, exactly? I know she's not a suspect. I know that she's a suspect. Aside from that, not much else. Whew. Okay. I need to get out of the yawn. Cross my heart, it's true. Time to deploy my clue. Sorry, but the more you tell me, the less sense your story makes. For one thing, you know details that even those investigating the scene were not aware of. Why is that? I respect her footsies because they become a red stain on the wall if they ever appear. Yeah. Those peepers are locked in tight for many reasons. One of them is to protect your feet. The other one is spoilers for Limbus Company. I'm not gonna tell you. You know, for years I thought that like Roshinante was that. Well, what's your thought on Franny calling him uncle? I don't know what I think. No comment. Oh, there's an intimidating face you like to make again. There's that intimidating face you like to make again. Well, two can play at that game. How do you like me now? I'm not gonna respond to that. It's Don Quixote from Limbus Company. I do have to commend your dogness. It really is something. I'll take that as a compliment. Take it however you like, but wrap this up, will you? I just don't have the stamina anymore. He's the culprit, the only possible suspect. Just accept it already. How much more evidence did you want us to load her down with, for goodness sake? Load her down with. Load her down with. Yet another interesting turn of phrase. One makes it sound a lot like the items Kay was carrying might have been foisted upon her. Impressive. You really do pay attention, don't you? It's no wonder they used to call you a prodigy, Mr. Ex-Prosecutor. I think you know the answer in your own question by now. Why don't you just go ahead and say it? I want to hear it from you. It's finally time to shed light on the truth. All that's left is to play the one last move. And now I think we need to do this. Kay is innocent. No, my boy, that's just clumsy. Anyone can blurt out bases such like that, even a disgraced superstar prosecutor. Time to deploy my clue. Except Kay was framed. The true culprit set it all up because she would take the fall instead. She literally fell. That is my answer, and I won't let you deny it any longer. Ah! Finally got some damage on this fucker. Throw tomatoes at him. Woo! Oh ho ho! Oh ho ho ho! My! You really are a sharp one, hmm? It's a bit of a shame you chose to hand over your badge. Don151 is a Chad who can't go into more since I don't want to bring much discourse in this stream, but yeah, I see. I admit it. You're right on all accounts. And that's checkmate. Got him! Big got him! Oh wait, I need to move myself. I see I blocked some of the dialogue. There we go. Now it's a little better, huh? What's worse, you thought you could get away with it. Well, you won't. Not if I can help it. There you go with that naivete again, my boy. I guess that was always your problem. Fuck you, game record. Fuck you. He became too big when he got really too... It was to prove a point! When the girl arrested me and the conviction secured, this whole nails goes away, and that's what will happen. But whose interest does a conclusion like that serve? The committee's, I suppose. And mine. You know, listening to you just now, well, it really got the tears flowing, I have to say. It was poignant and heartfelt and sincere, and utterly infuriating. Look, I'm not perfect. I know that. But your lack of sophistication in these matters is beyond the pale. You insist that the truth is more important than anything else? But would you say the same if you knew what the real value of the truth is? What are you trying to say? When you get to my level, you don't uncover the truth. You make it, little by little. Ibis hours. Nice. Perfect. Chat, we have another streamer guest. It's Ibis the Rabbit. Okay, Faraday. Murderer. That's the truth. The truth I created. Yes, my boy, that's what I like to see. You're so sincere sometimes, it's painful. It makes me want to put you in your place. Knowing the real truth will get you nowhere. Because that's how much it's worth. Nothing. Shocking, I know. Edgeworth, when you become powerful enough, you no longer have to follow the rules. Yeah, abso-fucking-lutely. It's like... Excelsius is more powerful than what he was as the chief prosecutor over 2 decades ago. That's bananas. But why not go after the real killer? How much do you even know about what really happened? You're still not getting it? That's your truth. And it's worthless. Mine is all that matters. You understand what I'm saying, don't you, Mr. Ex-Prosecutor? I have all the power here. Curse you! In an N-rated version of the game, he would say, fuck you. Well, aren't you menacing? You and your little friend are just as bad as each other. Violent criminals who deserve to be locked up. You'll pay for this! And with that, yet another person disappears from my life. Ooh, threatening. He's probably the strongest villain. Yeah. I mean, I would say that, but what do you think about the main villain in The Great Ace Attorney? The Great Ace Attorney. He's also very strong. And also, like, Damon Gaunt was very strong as well. But like this guy is definitely a little stronger than Gaunt. He's taking the far right guy with the all your truth talk. Yeah, absolutely. Like hearing this, it's a little too, it's like, this game is getting a little too real. A minute ago we were talking about like people who are doing evidence auctions with samurai masks. He's beyond Excelsius though. Yeah. Yeah, good point. He's definitely a big boy. I think that he and the main and the BBEG from the Great Ace Attorney are like very equal in their power positions. I'm not gonna say their name because if you guys are watching the VOD and you want to play the Great Ace Attorney. Oh, yeah. I was thinking Gaunt, but the police will only get you to the judge, which Excelsius is above. Yeah, true. Oh, it just makes me want to cry and cry and cry. Crocodile tears, all of them. Edgeworth found the paraphrasing Kim Kitsuragi, the ultimate racist. So I think, could be, I agree. I'm not planning to disappear just yet, Chairman Winner. There's still the hearings later today. Just you wait. One way or another, I'll prove Kay's innocence to the world then. This sequence was so cool. And it seems like we're continuing. I really like comparing like the sprite. Look at the sprites, and look at how Gavel looks like. Just to compare, the old audio PC said where do I don't think I can change the can I change the sprites here? Key config? No. Key config is key configuration. PC settings? No. Reader? No, absolutely not. I'm not playing that. Why would you have an Ace Attorney game with reader mode? It's so silly. Gavel is not dressed appropriate. Yeah. I mean, it does feel weird. At least Gavel kind of like looks more like police, but like it's really weird seeing the upscaled like these sprites next to like the judges. They look a little weird in terms of like quality difference. True. 10 members. Over the majority are present. I hereby call this hearing to an order. We are gathered here today to assess the professional competency of Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth. Here, in the sight of the goddess, we do solemnly swear to pass fair and frank judgment. Fair and frank, don't make me laugh. Verity, if you would be so kind as to summarize the case against Mr. Edgeworth. Celsius is just dressing like a JoJo's character straight up. Who's to say he wasn't inspired by a JoJo character? What do you guys think his, I think his, stand is hot and cold. Or hot to go. She's always on uniform. Yeah, but that's like anime character logic, Mark. On April 5th, despite having been advised the illegality of the investigation he was conducting, the accused refused to desist and eventually had to be detained by myself and Chairman Wino. His actions compromised the investigation into the murder of a certain defense attorney. Mandam? Could be. And despite having been presented with copious evidence of her guilt, he continues to insist that the suspect, 1K Faraday, is innocent on all charges. Perhaps you could explain the details of the murder to us as well. Of course. On the morning of the 5th, The body of the victim was found here in the committee chamber. Further explanation will be provided by me, Eustace Winner, Premier Prosecutor. Listen, this trial is all skewed. And the fact that Eustace is being here is not helping anyone. The floor is yours, Mr. Winner. Chicken dinner. The murder itself happened late on the night of the 4th. The victim was Miss Rosie Ringer. Oh man, this is so ridiculous. That same night, an illicit auction was being held here in this very room. Ringer took part of the auction. I think, yeah. Meaning that the murder took place sometime during the auction. When she was found, Ringer was dressed in an outfit that matched the description of the auctioneers. No. Wow. Basically, the council, this is specifically like a group of people who are gambling away, who are smuggling and like, bidding for evidence. However, according to the fact that the auction carried on after the murder had occurred, I deduced that Ringer was not in fact the auctioneer. Thief. You deduced nothing of the sort. And what of the basis in which the suspect was detained, Mr. Wino? Yeah, I got this. So Faraday was overcome by crushing remorse, Eustace. Yeah, that. Tons of crushing remorse. So she confessed. According to her confession, she was on the roof of this building when she encountered a person in a red raincoat that put on the viewing platform. Objection why? On what grounds are you objecting, Mark? And that person was Miss Ringer, I take it? Precisely, Mr. Chairman. The killer dressed the victim in the auctioneer's outfit after the fact. She literally told Eustace what to say. Overruled. But at the time when she was killed, Miss Ringer was wearing a red raincoat. And who won the race to find that raincoat nearby? Me! That's who! Did you? I thought it was somebody from forensics. Strictly speaking, it was found by one of the forensics investigators under Mr. Winner's command. Side note, I love her objection call-out voice clip being overruled. Yeah, it's nice. I mean, it's also the fact like she's not obligated to say objection, like, just like Long. Also, a little insight. I know they're actually very powerful in real-life trials, but I think confessions shouldn't count for shit. I knew it! The blood analysis in the coat showed that it was indeed Miss Ringer who had worn it. And the suspect's confession was the final nail in the coffin. She confirmed having committed the murder. So as you can see, Kay Faraday was the killer. There's no way anybody else could have done it. Alright, Miles, I expect you to have some objections, so let's get them out of the way, shall we? I have no objections, Chairman Winner. Well now, is that so? I thought I would have taken more than a single night. No objections in the matter of my unauthorized investigation, that is. But the matter is, of Mr. Faraday's supposed guilt, I have plenty. I can personally attest to the fact that Mr. Winner's investigation was fair and impartial. Yeah, of course it was. When it comes to carefully conducted ops, I'm the winner every time. You know, Miles, it's within my power to offer you a plea deal of sorts. If, and this is purely hypothetical of course, you were to withdraw your objections, you might wake up tomorrow to find yourself the proud owner of a seat on this committee. Fuck Fuck no, man. Man, he's so corrupt. So I ask you again, do you have any objections, Mr. Edgeworth? If you think you can buy my silence, think again. You will watch your mouth. Only if the chairman watches his. I didn't come here to talk about the committee seats. I came to talk about the murder case. I demand a statement under oath, and I won't rest until I have one. I want to know exactly what the committee's view on the incident is. You want to put us on trial, my boy? Very well, if it'll make you happy. Verity, please provide Mr. Edgeworth with the materials pertaining to the case. Really? But, sir... This will be his last hurrah, so let's humor him with the send-off he desires. If you say so, Mr. Chairman. Yay! Our evidence is back! Look at all these evidence! You have no objections to Verity representing the committee, I assume? None whatsoever. Mr. Edgeworth! Don't worry, Kay. Everything will be fine, you'll see. Time to do a cross-examination. Miss Ringer attended the auction as a potential buyer. The red raincoat was one of the items for sale. So our assumption is that after winning and paying for it, she left the abduction with her purchase. The only exit from the storeroom was, of course, the hatch leading up to the roof. I mean, not really. There was also the elevator. After she'd emerged on the viewing platform, that's when Miss Ringer was attacked by Miss Faraday. Shortly thereafter, her flame went out, and thus concludes the committee's view on the case. Here are numerous other burials to the truth that have been deliberately put in a criminal process to serve other functions. Huh. The raincoat was on offer that night. Is that really true? We believe so, yes. You remember the failed assassination attempt of the president of Zheng Fai, I assume? The raincoat is a piece of evidence from that case. It should, of course, has been remained safely after lock and key in the appropriate facility. But our inquiries reveal that it did in fact go missing under mysterious circumstances. Wow, I need to hydrate. I hydrated. Took care of it, chat. Your girl is drinking cold water. Wonderful work, Verity. Just wonderful. Crystal clear as ever. You flatter me, sir. Glug glug, get hydrated, get hydrated, get hydrated. Yeah. Now, Mr. Edgeworth, perhaps you can save us all for some time and simply admit defeat. Huh. I'll do no such thing, thank you very much. Very well. It's good to know you still have some fight in you. It is. Why? Is she dancing in both balls? Perhaps I think maybe she is. I have a question about the hot take sale. Yeah, what is it? Feel free to ask it. Come to think of it, she said some strange things when she visited me this morning too. What exactly is she up to? The committee's view on the case. Miss Ringer attended the action as a potential buyer. Do I have to share mine when I exchange the points for it? Yeah, it's for me. You guys are putting me on gunpoint to share my hot take. It's not for you guys. Like, you make me do something. It's not that I make you do something. Miss Ringer attended the auction as a potential buyer. The red raincoat was one of the items up for sale. I'm going to... Lots of statements here. Oh fuck, it's dinner time. Enjoy dinner. You can also retreat next time, but thank you for joining the stream. So the theory is that thank you so much for giving us company. So the theory is that the victim and her killer met on the roof, and that's where the murder took place. In other words, it assumes the viewing platform was the scene of the crime. But is that really the case? I thought I had evidence that clearly shows the story of what happened that night. Time to double check. I mean, what about the elevator? What about the elevator? What about the secret fucking elevator, miss? Ma'am. The elevator, that's secret?
Objection!
That was not when I was supposed to praise it. Whoops. Big whoops. Let's press this. Miss Ringer was one of the committee, but she had not have left the committee chamber via the main door. While the auction was still underway, that would risk exposing its existence to those outside the trusted circle of attendees. Even Miss Hart found out about it. I think its existence is already well exposed. The rules of the auction stated that the attendees were to enter and leave the hatch via the roof. Miss Ringer had no reason not to follow those rules. And given where the murder took place, we know she must have done so. I mean... I'm still confused, you know?
Hold it!
But why? What possible motive could she have had? That is exactly what we're hoping to establish in our upcoming interviews with Miss Faraday. Coercive interrogation after the fact, something you seem to specialize in. If the murderer already knew the attendees were to be leaving via the hatch, then the roof would have been perfect place to lie in wait. So I was saying, after she emerged on the viewing platform, that's when Miss Ringer was attacked. Shortly thereafter, her flame went out, and thus concludes the committee's view on the case. Okay. What is... Let's see. What is this suspicious thing here? Because I know the elevator is also the exit. So what's going on here? Maybe the heart, maybe the picture.
Objection!
Yep, the picture went here. We heard a scream after all. Maybe you can clear something up for me, Judge Gavelle. But what is Miss Haw doing here at this hearing? She's an eyewitness. I thought it would be obvious. Well, now, I ain't really an eyewitness. More of an ear witness, I guess. Huh. She's not exactly the most confidence-inspired choice to help you make your case, is she? I like to think I choose my allies a little more carefully than you, Mr. Edgeworth. But you should question them even more thoroughly, because there's something she hasn't told you. Take a look at this. It's a photo taken by Miss Hart. Yes, in the storeroom, correct? What of it? According to your theory, the murder occurred up on the roof. But according to Miss Hart's testimony, she happened to witness the entire incident unfold in the storeroom, just before she took this picture. Wait, you were saying that Gavelle got it? Wrong. That's exactly what I'm saying. What? Miss Hart, if I may confirm your account of the events we witnessed last night, you saw the person in the picture, correct? I sure did. Clear as day, and with my own two eyes to boot. And what were your impressions at that point? My impressions? This right here is the scoop of the century. Something like that. Yeah, that makes sense. I was hoping for your impressions of the person in question. There's a walk-in meal ticket? Seriously? Just my little joke. No need to look at me like I done said on your lunch. All red Vaco, right? Why, I took one look and I thought, that's our perp right there. And therein lies the rub. For Miss Hart to have thought for such a thing means murder occurred. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, when will you learn to use your words? If it's an explanation of the facts that you require, you need only ask, you know. What do you mean? I assume you're about to raise the issue of the voices Miss Hart heard. Voices that may be unrelated?
Objection!
Unrelated? You could do better than that. Was one of the voices Miss Hart heard really even Miss Ringer's? You're kidding me, right? Them folks was talking crime-related turkey on my name a lot of dang heart. Ah, but did you hear them clearly? Well, can't rightly say for sure, but yeah, I can't rightly say nothing, and you know it. They was using voice changers. I done told y'all that. Yeah, no, she has such a good theme. Precisely. Miss Hart heard voices, but those voices were disguised. Which means we cannot be certain that whatever she did over here had anything to do with the murder.
Objection!
Unless... Huh. You don't need to yell objection in order to sigh at me, Mr. Edgeworth. It seems I overestimated you, Judge Gavelle. Nonsense. Verity's the best of us, my boy. The very best. And yet she believes that what Miss Hart heard might not have been anything. Wait, I haven't read this line properly. There we go. Even supposing that that's the case, it doesn't prove the murder didn't happen in the storeroom. No, wait, and yet she believes that what Miss Hart heard might not have have anything to do with the murder. The incident happened before the victim was able to go up to the roof. That much we can say for certain. And I can tell you why. This proves the incident happened before the victim went up to the roof. I mean, jacket's clean. Jacket's clean. Or is it this?
Take that!
We initially thought the person in red raincoat was the culprit. Yes, because Miss Hart said as much. Indeed, she told us about the blood she saw on this person's hand. And I doubt many people would have thought differently given her testimony. Ergo, if this person was the killer, then the blood we see would be from when they attacked the victim. But knowing what we know now, that this person is in fact the victim, it recontextualizes everything. The presence of blood still shows that the picture was taken after the attack. But now it tells us something very important about the victim too. The picture tells us that the victim survived the attack. There is no doubt in my mind the victim was attacked in the storeroom. But here we have photographic evidence of her standing upright and alive, albeit with a bloody hand. This can only mean that Miss Springer survived the attack. The blood on her hand is from the wounds she had sustained. What are you talking about? Who dies from a hand wound? Oh my god. Idiot. The wound wasn't on her hand, Mr. Winner. I imagine she'd used her hand to try and staunch a wound. That's right. But it's impossible to tell from this angle. The victim was already mortally wounded here. Oh, well that certainly change things, wouldn't it? It very much would. Not least by making it absurd to suggest that Kay was the attacker. Her encounter with the victim happened after this picture had been taken. After the victim had already been attacked and was in critical condition. I put it to you that Kay witnessed what the victim finally succumbing to her wounds. That would have been quite the coincidence. It's a textbook case of wrong place, wrong time, I'd say. You seem to be forgetting a rather important fact, Mr. Edgeworth. Well, that matter pretending to not remember it. What? What fact am I forgetting? I think it's time to wrap things up, don't you, Verity? Put the boy out of his misery. Dad, Gavelle works for me! Why do you keep giving her orders? That's my job! Oh my god, he's so spoiled. You really are a total and utter embarrassment. I'm not! I hate to break it to you, but you both are. Go to it, Gavelle! Put Edgeworth out of his misery. As you wish. Another cross-examination coming through. Miss Stringer's body was found with 3 wounds in her chest. And we all know what those wounds came from, don't we? That's right, they're from when she was stabbed in the chest by a 3-armed candelabrum. I doubt anybody could survive such grave wounds. If you care to read the coroner's report, I'm sure you'll change your tune. Nicely done, Gavelle. Now Edgeworth will have to make several objections. Yes, I'm afraid I will. What? Why? Weren't you listening? Do we have access to the autopsy report? We do. Oh, I was listening. Very carefully, in fact, hence my objections. She doesn't work for either of you, she works with you. Yeah, pretty much. Come on! Why do you always have to undermine me? That's never my intention. I assure you. It isn't? Because you do it so well to yourself every single time already. Of course it isn't. Yeah, I knew that because I'm... Please, Eustace, for goodness sake, you've already embarrassed me enough. Huh? What do you mean, Dad? Oh my goodness. Let's try pressing the Let's try pressing the autopsy report.
Hold it!
Cause of death is the set of 3 puncture wounds on the left side of the chest inflicted by a candle holder. Well done for reading, Mr. Edgeworth. That report forms the basis of my own conclusions. In other words, if I disprove what it says, I disprove your conclusions too. You have the strangest sense of humor, but I wouldn't want to see you try. However, before you do, I would advise you read the report very carefully. Okay, we're gonna read it again and see if we can solve it. Preliminary findings. Place, time of death is sometime late last night. Cause of death is the set of 3 puncture wounds on the left side of the chest inflicted by a candle holder. Victim also suffered a head injury post-mortem. Other remarks, permanent burn mark on the back of the victim's right hand. Okay. Left side of the chest. I mean, is it the left chest? Is it the left side of the chest, or is it the right side of the chest? It's a little hard knowing, you know. After all, I'm not interested in your opinions, only in solely grounded deductions. Very well, then you shall have my deductions. Mr. Edgeworth? Don't worry, Kay, everything will be alright. I need to find something to prove that the victim was still alive and breathing immediately after the attack. Her left, your right. Yeah, understood. If I can't, Kay's fate will be sealed. Miss Sprinker's body was found with 3 wounds in her chest. And we all know what those wounds are from, don't we? That's right, they're from when she was stabbed in the chest by a 3-armed candelabra. Is it? The prongs of each arm are covered in blood. The spacing matches there is a wound in the victim's chest. But is it really the murder weapon? I doubt anybody could survive such grave wounds. I mean, I'm gonna try presenting it here. Hold on. Hold it. We're doing my favorite thing to do in this case, in this game, which is save scumming.
Objection!
Nope, that's not where we're supposed to go. Maybe... How is the head injury post-mortem? That's my question. Let's press this. But the victim may not have necessarily died instantly. I think we can say that much at least. Perhaps, but she would certainly not have lived for longer than a few moments either. So, there are people who could have survived even if you stabbed them in the chest? Sure, there might be, and there might not be too. So which is it? Trust me, there are not. And in case you're still tempted to believe there might be.
Objection!
Nope. Wait, I mean, here's my question. If she was wearing this outfit, then why doesn't the red raincoat have any holes?
Objection!
Looks like I'm correct. Let's go, baby. Chairman winner. You know what this is, of course. The red raincoat. That's right, isn't it, Verdi? Yes, sir. The one Springer was wearing. I warn you, Mr. Edgeworth, you will not be thanked for retreading old ground here. Well, I'm afraid I might have to regardless. Now then, if you'll still answer me this, Judge Gavel. You told us the victim's bloodstains were found on the coat. But do you remember where exactly they were found? Of course. They were found in the hood and... No! What's the matter, Verity? The hood and... Was blood found anywhere else on the raincoat? No, it wasn't, and there are no stab wounds. No, it was not. Doesn't that strike you as odd? The victim died of stab wounds to the chest. Wouldn't that lead one to expect to find bloodstains in that area? And yet, there was only blood on the hood. That's a glaring contradiction if I ever saw one. The head wound the victim suffered wasn't just some incidental injury. It was inflicted before the stab wounds to her chest. Perhaps you're correct. Perhaps the victim did sustain a head injury first. As you said, if she had been stabbed first, there should be blood in the chest area of her raincoat. Therefore, Miss Ringer couldn't have been stabbed before the head injury has been inflicted on her. But if we consider at this point that the head injury came before the chest wound, what difference would it make? How does it change your understanding of the case? Evan Gumshoe kind of dipped after he got arrested. Yeah, kind of. They didn't even have access to like the real trial. I mean, with Emma it makes sense, but with Gumshoe, I don't know. Maybe Gumshoe could have been there. I'd say it changes things a great deal, in fact. In fact, it raises an even more fundamental contradiction. And that is quite the blood claim, Mr. Edgeworth. I hate to admit, but you had me intrigued. Perhaps you could show me this fundamental contradiction with some evidence, which best demonstrates the contradictions to the injuries revealed. I think the autopsy report, the coroner's findings are very sus. Yeah, Franziska is still around. This is Dr. Hurt's preliminary findings. I mean, she has to be around for her brother, and she also has the qualifications. According to which, the victim suffered a head injury post-mortem. What the author suggested by the bloodstains on the raincoat is exactly the opposite, yes. Bailiff! This court hereby subpoenas Dr. Hilda Hertz to the committee chamber with all due haste. They actually use the word subpoena in the actual localization. They don't really use that word a lot. He's also an agent assigned to this case. Yeah. I mean, Gumshoe, yeah, it's like... I think they're just doing this to dunk on Edgeworth. He doesn't have his hype man around. Until she testifies, this case cannot be brought to a close. Yes, Your Honor. I'll go fetch her at once. Yeah, true. Yeah, she still has the authority. Unfortunately, Dr. Hertz is a very busy woman. I doubt she'll still be able to come immediately. In the meantime, there's another important angle I would like to explore. Frankly, something has been bothering me about the person at the heart of this case. The so-called ringleader. Who exactly are they? Yeah, good point. We never looked into that, huh? Despite having been mentioned repeatedly in this hearing, we still don't even know the most basic facts that might help us uncover their identity. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any thoughts on the matter? We've seen nothing that might serve as clear evidence of the auctioneer's identity as of yet. But there is something involved with the case that I can name. I suspect that at the very least, they might be able to point us in the right direction. And that's... Chairman Winner, I demand you testify as to what you know. What? Are you crazy? Why would you accuse my dad? Because he fucking sucks. You would cast doubt on the integrity of the chairman of a committee? Do you understand the implications of such an act? I don't care who or what he is. We're talking about the truth here. And about a man who seems dead on set, framing Kay at all costs. The mask, corsage, ticket stub, and everything else. The items Kay was carrying when she was found. They were deliberately placed in her possession somehow. By Chairman Winner himself. A shocking accusation, and one I would find hard to believe. But for the sake of completeness, I must ask, why would he do such a thing? To cause suspicion of Kay, of course. Why else? I even managed to get him to say something to that effect. Chairman Winner, your rebuttal, please. Oh, he's gonna lie, ain't he? I think the good chairman might be in shock. So what if I did? Did you hear me, dear boy? I said, so what if I did? And this guy... I can't wait until I see this fucking guy's breakdown. It's one of the more satisfying ones. You say you got me to admit as much, but where's your proof, With no witness to speak of, your word alone is hardly enough to make an accusation like that stick. Or do you mean to tell us that you have something more to base your outburst on? He still has the arrogance he showed back at the detention center, and yet... Mr. Edgeworth, I am going to have to ask you to explain yourself. If that's right, Mr. Chairman. Not at all. I'll be very interested to hear this for myself. I'm intrigued to hear where Wiles might have gotten the idea that I'm some sort of criminal. Because you'll never find a more fine and upstanding citizen than myself. He has a lot of nerve acting all innocent like that. Very well, let's start at the very beginning. The fact that the auction took place right here in this hallowed trial chamber at a point of suspicion is a point of suspicion. A location that should, by rights, only be accessible to members of the committee. Yeah, they all have key cards on the room after all. Furthermore, these auctions seem to be held on a somewhat regular basis. And for that to be possible, there can only be one winning explanation. Is it actually gonna be winning? That's right, Mr. Winner. That the auctioneer is a member of the committee. What? No! Ugh, what on earth is wrong now? What did I do, Dad? I played right into his hands! You did indeed, you utter nitwit. But Miles, my boy, you do realize that you've cast quite the wide net with your explanation. That's true. There are 11 members of this committee altogether. 10 given Miss Stringer's unfortunate passing. 10 potential suspects in total. Well, it certainly wasn't me. And it can't be the chairman, can it? Whoever it is, speak up, right now! Calm down, all of you, please. Well, Miles, is that all the proof you've got against me? You're very quiet all of a sudden. But it's not too late to back out now. You accuse the former chief prosecutor and current committee chairman of a crime. I would tell you to prepare for the worst. What is he burning right here? But there's no preparing for what you're about to face. Know your place. Okay, something I like about this, translation in contrast to the, like, the fan translation, and honestly, no shade towards the fan translation. It's a respectable piece of fan media. It made this game super accessible for, like, over a decade. With that being said, I think that Know Your Place works better than because I'm gonna bully you. There's just a bit more refinement in the scripting that helps it more. It helps it be more professional. And again, the fan translation is very good. You've been forcing us to argue over every little detail for a while now. When the murder happened, the order of the victim's injuries, some other things I hardly even remember. But you needn't have bothered my boy, because it's all irrelevant in the end. Think about it. The suspect herself has already said she did it. That's all that matters in the end of the day, and her sentence will be lighter for it. So rejoice. And there you have it. Feel free to pick holes as you see fit. How can I? That was barely a testimony to begin with.
That man, he's a very powerful person, isn't he? It's okay, Mr. Edgeworth. Please, just let it go. I did it. I'm the murderer. I even remember doing it.
You saw a flash of something half-remembered, Kay, nothing more. If you must believe in something, believe in me that believes in you. Believe me when I say you should believe in your own innocence instead. That was a more convoluted way of saying what I just said.
But
I'm up against the head of the committee here. This isn't going to be easy. He seems to think he's already won. Perhaps I can use that against him. I think that's time to press some statements, because that's the best way we got him. We made him slip. It's more classy. Yeah, a more classy way of like saying what I did.
Hold it!
Even if the broad strokes are correct, it doesn't make something true. Oh, don't be such a stick in the mud. I'd say the bigger picture is more than enough here. After all, every case has its small little inconsistencies and contradictions. If we let ourselves get bogged down in every single one, we'd never make any arrests. Once we did, the trail would drag on forever. Even you understand that, right? Not in the slightest. Hence my inquiry into the details. Also, look at how like goofy this stained glass drawing looks. And the upscaling, he looks so funny. Such a distinguished man with a square head. Is he from Roblox? Oh, to be young and so pig-headed. Oh, you keep digging into all these little details. Where the murder happened, the order of the victim's injuries, other things I hardly even remember.
Hold it!
Reasonable doubt is the backbone of all these attorney cases. No wonder there's no jury. Yeah. There needs to be no reasonable doubt that something happened. I mean, in the Great Ace Attorney, they do have a jury, and they actually found a good way to make it work. I seem to recall the ringleader's identity and the faulty coroner's report being critical points of the connection. Yes, I was listening, my boy. But critical is a matter of opinion. How can you possibly suggest such a fundamental issues are not important? Yeah, I'm such a big fan of the Great Ace Attorney. Very big fan of like how Shu Takumi found other ways to evolve the formula. Oh, bravo, my young hothead. Wonderfully cutting stuff. You do like to try, though, don't you? But you needn't have bothered, my boy, because it's all irrelevant to the end.
Hold it!
Let's just keep pressing his statements. There's no way of what we discussed today that is irrelevant, not unless you intend to bury the truth. But none of it is relevant, dear boy. The only reason you keep trying to make it relevant is because otherwise you're a creep without a paddle. Think about it. The suspect herself has already said she did it.
Hold it!
Just because she confessed to something doesn't mean it's the truth. Kay is suffering from amnesia, so any statement she makes should be taken with at least a grain of salt.
Objection!
Oh, that's a good objection right there. Good one. Definitely fitting the character. I think it's a hit. Even so, it doesn't exactly solve anything for us, does it, dear boy? And it would be nonsensical to dismiss her objection outright. I'll tell you what, why don't we ask her one last time? Though I'm sure she'll just say she did it again. Also, back to Ace Attorney. To the great Ace Attorney. Braun von Zeeks. I would let him buy me dinner. That's all. That's all, folks. I would let him buy me dinner. Fine, let's do it. Let's ask her again. We'll see if she really believes herself to be the culprit.
Huh? You mean me?
Is this really what you want, Mr. Edgeworth? If it goes badly, it could significantly weaken your position. I know, but there's no other way. I only request that I be the one to question her. They would have dinner with racists. That's... He's a product of his time, but yeah, and he learns to improve. Not me defending my problematic fave. He's still just a vibe. He's like my favorite Ace Attorney prosecutor, despite the 19th 19th century racism. He likes thighs. I like yes, thighs on men and big vampiric men. You really know how to tug an old man's heartstrings, you know? But fine, ask away. On one condition. If this turns out to be a waste of time. Okay, Princess Nina. Who is Princess Nina? I'm gonna look it up. I have not played that game, unfortunately. I see she's from OG Fire Emblem, so sorry, I don't know who she is. I believe you she likes thighs. We'll call the proceedings to an end then and there, agreed? Call the proceedings to an end? You mean the hearings? Yes, dear boy, that's right. Perhaps you are a complete muddlehead after all. Now, just so we're clear, if I ask again, and that all happens, the girl confirms her guilt. She is officially declared guilty on the spot. Yes, that sounds like a great plan, if I do say so myself. That's it. Just declare her guilty, just like that. That's the gist of it. The guy is literally above other judges. He is above a lot of other people. That's a big risk, but he's going to find a way to condemn her either way if we don't do something. Kay!
Yes?
I know it's a lot to ask, but I need you to think. Do you remember anything else about what happened on the day of the murder? Anything that might help us prove your innocence?
Why? Why are you still fighting for it, Mr. Edgeworth?
There is that theme again, that theme of self-pity.
It's no use. I can't be of help to you. I'm sorry. I'm too scared to try and remember anymore. What if I remember something even worse? And if I did, I'd just be making more trouble for you. Please, just accept it.
He's really like... Yeah, he's definitely big.
I knew... Okay, you thought you knew. Is a dangerous criminal. A criminal who let you down and betrayed your trust.
Don't worry, Kay. You have nothing to be afraid of. I may not have known you for very long, but I know you well enough. Right now, I'd say I know you better than you know yourself. You would never commit murder. You could never, because this is who you really are. I mean, she's the Atagarasu. I don't have the promise notebook here, so I'm just gonna present the pin.
Take that!
Oh my god, did you guys see the size of that penalty? I just noticed it. That's a fucking big penalty right there. Crazy. You're the great thief Yatagarasu, a noble outlaw who would never stoop so low as to kill.
I can't do it. I'm sorry. Because all I can see is the one memory that returned. I have to face it.
Hold it!
Yeah, welcome to the end game. I warned you. This is some trilogy stuff. They also did they also made bigger penalty. They also played with the penalty sizes in Justice for All and Trials and Tribulations. It really disappoints me how they abandoned that system and went back to the Phoenix Wright system where it's five strikes and you're out. I much preferred the health bar because they have the ability to do shit like that. As I said earlier, you have to believe that you're better than that. Or are you saying you don't believe a word of what I've been telling you?
No, it's not that. You're trying so hard to help me. And you're risking so much for me. It's too much. You have to stop. I'm begging you.
Oh, so that's what's going on.
I thought it was strange, but now I see.
The reason you're allowing yourself to be railroaded into accepting your fate is because of me, isn't it? Which is exactly what the K I know would have done.
You're a good person, Mr. Edgeworth.
Sorry to burst your bubble, but I'm not, and I don't plan on becoming one anytime soon. I am the bad boy of the Ace Attorney series. Because despite all your wishes to the contrary, I'm still trying to help you. So you see, I'm only been servicing my own ego, regardless of what I put you through. He's doing a reverse psychology on her. Now let's try this again. See the good in yourself, Kay. Remember the noble thief you truly are. That memory of you committing the murder, you need to question it with all you have. That's all I ask. So please, do it for me. Kay! What's wrong? Did you remember something? Oh, it'll be like some cliche movie plot if she did.
A cow.
A cow. That's true. A cow?
Mr. Edgeworth, if you could perhaps ask her for a few more details.
Well, okay, what can you tell us about this cow?
I remember now. The person in the red raincoat. She had it in her hand. A stuffed cow! I can see it now! I can see it so clearly now.
It's the big cow. Are you sure, Miss Faraday? Are you absolutely certain? I love how Ace Attorney just throws curveballs on you.
Yes, I'm sure.
Then this court acknowledges the defendant's latest statements as new testimony.
Objection!
Have you lost your mind, Verity? We can't accept testimony like this. Yeah, she cut off Edgeworth. With all due respect, Mr. Chairman, information is pertaining to this victim in her possessions is new and highly relevant evidence.
Objection!
Need I remind you of the added state of her memory? No, this simply won't do.
Adult. But if we claim their memory is unreliable now, then your own argument is weakened, so...
Oh, she's doing a backstab. Ladies and gentlemen, Brutus is stabbing Caesar. I repeat, Brutus is stabbing Caesar.
You said yourself only a few minutes ago that thanks to the suspect's confession, we need not worry ourselves about the finer details, did you not? What would you call the validity and health of memories in question?
Ace Attorney when your rival allies when you two take down a billion villains. It's amazing.
Then we must call into question the confession of which our entire argument is based. Is that really the most advisable course of action?
Yes, you're right. Proceed as you've seen fit, then. Yeah, she's so peak woman right there.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
We're still in this game, but only by the skin of our teeth. And only thanks to Judge Gavel's intervention. It's almost as if she was on our side for a second. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, the stuffed animal? I believe the cow in question is this thing here, Your Honor. We found it in the storeroom and believe it is yet another auction lot.
Wait, that's...
Do you know something, Yvel?
No, it's just not what I imagined.
I suppose it's a rather old thing for the victim to be carrying. I should look over it carefully. There's a hole inside.
The left horn is missing.
He was chief prosecutor, but she always has been the judge. True. She'll be the judge of that, literally. This hole. It looks like it's where the horn would have gone.
But that doesn't look like stuffing in there. So what is it?
Let's take a look at the rest of this one and see what else we can find. I think the horn could be detached. The right horn seems intact, but I can't say it's doing much for the overall symmetry of this stuffed toy.
Look, Mr. Edgeworth, it moves.
It does.
It sounds like sand being crushed.
It would seem there's a recording device hidden inside. And
I knew it was you from the moment I laid eyes on you. You can't hide that burn from me. Nothing to say for yourself? I've waited so long for this day, and now I'll finally have my revenge.
ah! Could this be the moment of the murder?
And someone made a recording of it.
Ooh, shit.
Hey, that's them right there! Them's the voices I heard! Sure as eggs is eggs!
Overruled. Unfortunately, we have no way of verifying when these voices were recorded. It's possible they have nothing to do with the murder. If only there was some accompanying video footage. You got bugs in your ears or something, lady? I done told you. Them's the voices I heard. And we already know the victim was holding that thing, right? So it's gotta be from where she got. Yes, it is a possibility, but a weak one without more than your word to back it up. We need something more, something credible. We need, yet again, she seems to be stepping in help. Judge Gavel, I think we all know the voices from the moment of the murder. Consider for a moment the words we have heard of the speakers say. I knew it was you from the moment I laid eyes on you. You can't hide that burn from me. I believe we have something that could explain what those words are referring to and how it's all related. Which piece of evidence proves the voices are from where the murder occurred? I think it's this, actually.
Take that!
The coroner's preliminary findings. How did they prove anything? Indeed. What on this page shows the voices must be from the time of the murder. It's the burn mark.
Take that!
Think again on the words we heard. This part in particular sticks out in my mind. You can't hide the burn from me. The victim has a prominent burn mark on the back of her left hand. And what of it? According to case testimony, the victim was carrying the stuffed cow toy. And the burn mark, an identifying mark unique to the victim, was mentioned on the recording it captured. It's just a coincidence. Stuff like that happens all the time, right?
Overruled.
I'm not sure what it does, especially not in this case. The court accepts the recording may be from the time of the murder. In which case, one of the two voices must belong to the real culprit. And based on the content of the conversations, it seems likely it's from the one we heard the most. Yeah, oh shit, she overruled. But that still doesn't prove anything about the killer's story, Judge D. or even if they're male or female. Due to the voice change is correct. Unfortunate, but unavoidable. Yep, seems like she's being a little more blunt with her word. One thing, however, has become clear. We are now able to say that the voices Miss Hart heard were those of the Miss Ringer and the killer. Just like I done told you they was! We can say something else now too. Then let's hear it. That is, if you don't mind, Mr. Chairman. Do as you wish. Do as you wish. According to Miss Hart, just before the murder occurred, two people came up from the storeroom from the committee chamber onto the elevator. The ringleader and one of the auction attendees. It seems this was the point in which the money was exchanged hands. The murder happened immediately afterwards, and the auction carried on after that. All of which points to one key fact. What else does this latest revelation tell us? Maybe that the ringleader was the killer? Since the ringleader was the auction's sole auctioneer, then it follows that they cannot be the victim. Hey, Gavel! Not right now, Eustace. There's a good boy. And if they weren't the victim, then they can only have been the killer.
Overruled.
A compelling argument, but hardly conclusive. I am fully aware of that, Your Honor. I was merely warming up to the main event. Yeah, they'd also talking 17-year-old child. There were certain traces left on the scene that seemed to suggest the ringleader was the killer. Then please hurry and show us. What is something that was based on the scene that points to the ringleader having been the killer? Yeah, this is so cool. What is pointing to the ringleader being the killer? That's my question. They could never make me hurt you. Yeah, she's great. Yeah, the judge in TGA had some good ones. Ugh. Okay, I'm trying to think. Ringleader wore a white jacket with white gloves and a magenta flower and a mask. Age and gender cannot be discerned.
Take that!
I think I fumbled. Whoops. Yeah, thank you for the posture check. I think we're also about to be done. I just, I think that, I'll eventually get it. I don't get it. Oh, fuck. Yeah, my bad. For once I agree with my idiot boy. Wow, fuck you, man. The ringleader was the killer, then something they would have wanted. There's something they would have wanted to hide. Trying to think here and what the thing was. Yeah, I know that, Judge. One of them is a carbon copy of the previous, of like the old days attorney judge, and the other one is the good one.
Mr. Edgeworth, if you wish to believe your assertion was the ringleader was a killer, will you see some evidence to that effect? I understand, Your Honor, and I'm about to show you that. What is something... Okay, hold on. Yes, good. Shit, I forgot,
Take that!
Nope, that's not it either. Hold on. Ah, I'm drawing a blank. I forgot what I need to present here. Crap. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. Welcome to the stream. We're about to finish it, but it's good to see you guys are joining. Welcome here. Welcome, Helmer. I'll try to guess. I'm gonna look at the evidence that we found in there. Got a grassy pin. No. No. The corsage was found on K. Key card. I mean, it could be this. Okay. It's on page 3. Understood.
Take that!
Is it the blood? Yeah. The killer deliberately left a large pool of blood at the foot of the Goddess of Justice statue. If that was due to the blood, we originally thought the murder happened in this chamber. But it was simply a ruse, designed to cover up the blood that had dripped down from the storeroom. In order to conceal the existence of the underground auction, correct? Correct. If the culprit had nothing to do with the auction, they would have no reason to cover up that blood. Which further supports the theory that the ringleader and the killer were one and the same. And as to the identity of the ringleader, do you have anyone you'd like to name? The auction is always held in the committee chamber with the storeroom located just overhead. So at the very least, we know the murderous ringleader has some connection to the committee. Yes, yes. And you suspect me, correct? As the committee's most powerful member, that should hardly be a surprise, right?
Objection!
You're a fine prosecutor, and much I'll give you. But as I think I may have mentioned already, you're also hopelessly naive. You got nothing, dear boy, have you? No evidence whatsoever. Unless, of course, you got something to share after all? Ugh. Do I have any evidence to show Chairman Winter is the murderer? I don't think I have at the moment. It was Chairman Winter himself who brought up the fact that I suspected him. And he seemed confident right from the get-go that he's untouchable. Which means he knows. He knows I have nothing. Well, Miles, my boy, time to pay the piper. Ah, I've always wanted to say that. Verity's all yours. Hold it! Wait! Dang it! I just remembered something! Huh? Did you have amnesia too? Oh my goodness. Someone please save this man from himself.
No, it's just that it come to me. Flash of inspiration, you barely know it is. You know how it is. Very well, say your piece.
Objection.
What are you doing, Verity?
Mr. Edgeworth has made it clear that he won't give up until every last leak of hope has been extinguished. So extinguish we must. Let us try to drag us. Lest he try to drag us through the excruciating process again in the future.
His old objection was also good. But I think this one is a decent replacement. It's not as jarring as Gregory's objection. Yeah, it was a little deeper than Karma's. I have no idea how they got such a deep objection out of Karma in the original one. Yeah, what she said. I don't get it. I don't quite get it, but it sounded pretty cool. Don't worry, Dad. I'll help Gavel bring this to a winning finish. We'll show them how wrong they are. Fine. Let's hear what the witness has to say. You heard the charm, Miss Hart. If you'd be so kind. Well, all right then. Here goes nothing. The facts, Miss Hart, and nothing but the facts, please. Don't you worry your pretty little head on that front. I'm a journalist. Truth's my middle name. A lot of truth, Hart. Call me officially white. So the ringleader's the killer, right? Which makes the victim one of them auction goers. Thing is, that don't add up. I counted 11 people coming down that hatch, see? Then the murder happened, and the auction started back up again. Now I had to look back downstairs right after that. No. And wouldn't you know it, there were 11 little duckies all lined up in a row again. How? Truthheart isn't a bad name, it's true. Are you sure about this, Miss Hart? Sure as it can be, your gabbleship. Saw him with my own 2 peepers. So, 11 people before the murder, and 11 again right after beans. Wait, that's a thingy! A contradiction, Eustace. Do try to keep up. Miss Hart, did nothing really change at all? I done told you already. They carried right on again like nothing even happened. Oh, except for, wasn't nothing much, but what is it? That little old mallet doodad? Can't have yourself an auction without one. Kinda like the one Missy over here got, but different. The auctioneer's hammer. That's the bunny. I done heard that thing blanging and clanging right the way through, then nothing, just like that. So the noise of the hammer stopped midway through. Could it have something to do with the murder? Another statement. Yep. If what Miss Hart is telling us to be true, we have something of a problem. Namely, that the victim is neither the auctioneer nor one of the attendees. Your entire theory cannot stand, Mr. Edgeworth. Chuck one up for justice. Eat that, Mr. Edgeworth. See, Mr. Edgeworth, there really was nothing we could do. No, there must be something we're overlooking. Something we still don't have an explanation for. I just need to think. If I can't, Kay is... Alright, kids, do we finally have our answers now? If so, then I expect you to make good on it. Oh, a big hold it again. One moment, sir. I worry that it might still be a little early to pass judgment. Oh, she's Brutusing all over again. After all, we have one more matter yet to resolve. And until we do, we cannot claim a complete and total victory over Mr. Edgeworth. What is it? Is that not Mr. Edgeworth? Frankly, I expected to have raised your voice by now. The doctor, lol. Aloud, hold it, perhaps. Wait, yes, of course. Once again, she has rescued us from the jaws of defeat. Very well, let's get this over with, shall we? What is the one matter which still remains? Why, the contradiction to Coroner's report, sir. That's... I'm back with the witnesses, Your Honor. Oh, it's these two.
What's that all about? Why'd he call us back down here?
Yeah, it sounded a bit hold it.
It's like, did somebody suddenly fall ill? I'll have the compressed ready 2 shakes of it. Ouch! Is that any good? Did somebody dolls drop dead? Well, there might be soon. They might soon wish they had.
Dr. Hertz, Miss Needler, thank you so much for coming at such short notice. Let me assure you this won't take long.
Quit trying to butter me up and cut it a chase, will ya?
Of course, we summoned you here to confirm something. What is Judge Gavel up to? That's a good question. Dr. Hertz, this court asks you to provide the unabridged truth regarding the following. Do you stand by your preliminary findings? Can you vouch for the complete and total accuracy?
Grandma doesn't make mistakes. Never.
That's strange.
Huh? What do you mean?
In the course of this trial, an error was indeed found in a report. And so I ask again for truth, Dr. Hertz. Did you alter, tamper with, or in any way falsify your findings?
That's awful! How can you even say that? What are you asking me for? Why the heck would I want to do that?
Gavel asking for a second autopsy report. Yeah, absolutely. The empty culprit, of course.
As if I know anything about all that. I just know I didn't do anything of the sort.
Then that seems doubly strange. What other explanation could there be for the discrepancy in your report? Mr. Edgeworth? I wonder if you might have any thoughts on the matter. It's not like you to be coy, I must say. Why does she keep taking charge and helping me? I still don't know what she's trying to do, but I'll happily take what I can get. If everything was recorded accurately and then handed off to Mr. Winner according to the protocol, then the report shouldn't contain any mistakes. Wait! For the record, I didn't do anything to the report! I guess we'll see, won't we? Dr. Hertz, perhaps we could begin with your side of the story.
What do you even need me for? This is pointless.
I'll be the judge of what's pointless, thank you very much.
We have patients waiting back at the hospital. But Grandma, ouch! We really don't have time for this.
Won't you please help us? I can't stress how important this is.
Grandma says she'll testify. But could you please make it quick? If we're not back soon, people will suffer.
And yet, you have no qualms about taking your time and buying cotton candy like last time we saw you. We'll let you go as soon as we can, I promise. Assuming you'll tell us the truth, that is. So what is the mistake in the autopsy report? Well, chat, that'll be a problem for the next stream. For it has gotten late and I have shit to do tomorrow. Thank you so much for attending this stream. This case is so hype. Honestly, I think it's actually a good idea. Like, even though Gumshoe and Emma and Eddie have kind of faded into the background, and Eddie hasn't done much aside from like being weird towards towards women in his own Eddie way, in his own Fender way. I had a really good time with this stream, and like it's really cool to see how much Edgeworth has grown and how he learned to stand for himself. It's awesome. Gavel stealing the spotlight from Marcus, didn't get to see it. Sadness. Oh well. Yeah, and Gavel is definitely being our ally here. It's really awesome, and we'll be continuing and probably also finishing this case next time. So until next time, when the truth will be revealed. I hope you guys stay frosty. Bye bye.